Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Donna. So today we are going to be doing a bit of a science experiment for our ornaments. We are going to be making crystallized ornaments for our trees, or you could use it in garlands or wreaths. We are going to do just something that is very basic, and then I am going to show you a couple of things that are unique and different. So yeah, I hope you stick around, and this is something that would be great to do with your kids or your grandkids. All right, let's get started. Okay, so for the first one that we're going to do, a lot of you've probably already done this when you were kids. It's making icicles using pipe cleaners. I have silver and I have clear. And I have a bunch of jars, sticks to straddle on our jars, wire cutters. I have a measuring spoon to measure out our borax. Now, lesson learned by me, buy this brand. I have tried another brand and it was kind of gross. So I really highly recommend this brand right here, the Mule brand. It's been around for a very long time. So most grocery stores, I believe, have it. So yeah, get this one. It works best. And then you will also need hot water, and I'm going to be using a spatula to stir my solution. Okay, so I will post a recipe that was posted on another website, or a blog, I should say. I will post the link to that blog in the description box. I am just going to wing it here. I've found that just as long as you have lots of borax, you will have crystals. So I'm going to be sharing some tips with you as well as we go along the way that I have learned, just to help with growing your crystals. Okay, I am going to get my borax into, I am going to do 3 jars to start, and then I'll show you another container that you can use, and some other things that you can use as well besides just the pipe cleaners. So one tip I have is it's easier to get your borax into whatever containers you're going to be using if you dump it out into a separate container. And then you can get the big box out of the way. And then I'm going to just start by scooping. I'm going to put about 9 tablespoons in this jar. Okay, set that aside. See how much that is. There's quite a bit in there. Okay, and then I'm going to get my hot water. Okay, so if you are going to have kids do this project with you, I strongly urge you use caution. You are using boiling hot water, and I would hate for the little guys to get scalded. I would hate for you yourself to get scalded. So again, please use caution. And if you want, you can use some gloves while you're handling the borax. So yeah, I'm just going to pour it in, fill it up. Get an adult to do this portion, please. Okay, I'm going to fill that up, and now I'm going to give it a stir and mix it well. Okay, so I think I have it mixed pretty well. If there's a little bit left, that's okay. It's actually kind of cool because crystals will form on the bottom of the jar. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut my pipe cleaners using the wider cutters. I'm just going to cut mine in half. I'm going to do 3 of each color, the silver and the clear. Remove any extra bits. Crystals will grow on, like, I don't know if you can see, but there's like little hairs. Just remove those because the crystals actually will grow on there and they'll end up just falling off. So I'm just going to remove those few little bits. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to take my bamboo skewer that I've cut in half that fits over the jar. And all I'm going to do is twist and form a loop around my bamboo skewer, and I'm going to do that for all of these. Okay, once I'm done that, I'm going to carefully put that in the jar, and I'm going to top it off with some water so I can get crystals growing as high up as I can. And I'm going to do the same thing for the clear. You can make your pipe cleaners longer if you choose. You just might have to trim off the bottom ends so that they don't hit the bottom of the jar, because if that happens, they will grow to the bottom of the jar, and well, that makes it a little difficult to remove from the bottom. So, okay, so just quickly do that. Put these in again. Please use caution. Use oven mitts if your jar is too hot. I'm just going to quickly move mine aside. So a tip that I learned just by playing around was that once the solution is cooled, I have under counter lighting and I tucked it back in a corner, and I turned it on just because I wanted to watch them grow and the kids wanted to watch all the crystals grow. Well, I had a separate dish that was further away from those lights, and the jar that was closer to the lights, because of the warmth from those lights, they actually ended up growing a whole lot better. So if you could have them in a warmer spot, your crystals will grow a lot fuller on your stems, and they actually grow a little bit bigger too. So that's just a tip for you. Okay, so I have a flat glass pan. If you are concerned about using dishes from your kitchen for science experiments, then please get some separate containers. Anyways, I'm not concerned. I'm throwing these in the dishwasher so they will get sanitized. Anyways, so I've already mixed up my solution in a jar, and I'm going to pour this solution into my pan very carefully. Another tip is that you want to work on a protective surface. Like, I've got material and a towel to absorb any liquid that may spill. It will crystallize on your counters, again, from experience. Okay, so I am going to crystallize feathers. So all you have to do, I bought these ones from my local dollar store. You can get some without any of the paint on, but my store was all sold out, of course. Anyway, so I've already done some, so I'm just going to take you through the process of everything, and then I will show you the results of my experiments from earlier. So with the feathers, all you're doing is putting them in, and I am using my silicone spatula here just to help hold them down, just to help them get waterlogged a bit. And then after a while, you'll want to check on them. They will start crystallizing. I actually flip them over a few times just so that they get a bit more of an even coat of crystals. This one's already starting to get waterlogged. Anyway, so you just keep doing this, check on them, and then you just flip them over once they start forming crystals, like so, and that's all there's to it. Okay, and then you just let those sit as well. Okay, so this next one is an experiment that I tried out on my own. I haven't seen this done anywhere, at least I don't think so, not that I could find. And you guys, it turned out so cool. So I'm super excited to share this next one. So I've made up my solution. I made it a little bit weaker. Instead of the 9 scoops, I just did 7. I don't want the crystals to go crazy, although they might. I don't know. We'll see. It's so hard to tell what will happen. So again, you just need to experiment and play and see what happens. And don't go for perfect, because that's just not going to happen. Okay, so branches. I have snipped down some branches, and I'm going to cut this one down a little bit more. You can use snips. I'm just using my wire cutters. And all you do is just put them in. I did hang some on string before. Try not to have them touching. You could probably do this in the pan as well, but I already used my pan for the feathers, so I'm just going to put them in the jar. And you just put them in, and they're going to get waterlogged. And as it starts to cool down, oops, okay, I'm going to have to cut that little branch off. As you start to see it cool down, you'll want to kind of move the branches around, just so, again, the crystals will stick to each other. So anyways, that's it. So you just let that sit and do the same thing. Set it aside in a little bit of a warmer spot if possible. If not, don't worry about that. The crystals will still grow. And yeah, you just watch them grow, check on it. Again, like I said, just move them around. Move them around so they don't stick to each other. And for all these projects, let them all sit overnight. So it's still morning time here. By the evening, I will have crystals growing. So you might have enough crystals to your liking. Just keep checking on them. I'll probably let mine sit overnight, and I will show you the results of what that will look like in a moment. Okay, so another tip with the sticks is be careful you don't have your jar overstuffed. Mine is a little bit too full, so I'm going to take one out. And like I had said before, just keep an eye on it, because they do float around a bit. So once they get waterlogged, they won't be moving around and floating around as much. But yeah, just be careful that you don't overfill your jars with either the branches or even the chenille stems. Okay, so These are the ones that I have completed so far. So these are the pipe cleaners. This one's the clear. I did a longer one and a shorter one. There will be a few loose bits, but that's all right. These will probably only be good for one season unless you can package them up safely so they don't crumble over the year. Anyways, this is the clear. And then these ones are the silver. And then I did paint one with some glitter. It just actually ended up making it pop just a little bit more. And then what I think it'll do too is just help reflect the light and help hold it together a little better. And then the feathers, I found a few feathers that were just solid white. Look how gorgeous that is. So pretty. So these are very, very delicate. So you'll want to be careful with those. And here's one with the paint on it. I love the feathers. These are absolutely gorgeous. I'm so pleased with how well they turned out. So if I were going to use these to hang on the tree, you could like actually take a needle and thread through this the stem of the feather here, and then you could hang it on your tree. And then the branches. These I am so excited about. These turned out so cool. Look at that. It really does look like ice on a stick. This one really got thick on this one branch. And then this one just has a few, but that's all right. It's just, again, like in nature, not everything grows the same, right? So I'm super excited to try these out in, say, wreaths or in my Christmas tree. And again, I would just use some string, tie it, or you know, if you have something else in mind to hang in the tree, or glue them in place in a wreath or a garland. And if you want, you could try to seal these so the crystals will hold tight. Like I'm thinking I might add a little bit of glitter paint to all the feathers just to help them stay on, because they really are fragile. Like there is a few pieces that are falling off. But for a fun seasonal project, this is really, really cool. So I hope you try it out. Okay, so I thought I'll just quickly show you painting on the glitter paint onto the feather, just to, again, help to hold those crystals in place. I did this on one of the pipe cleaners, and it is helping to keep the glitter or the crystals on the chenille stems. So I'm hoping that's what this will do too for the feathers, and it'll just add a little bit more shimmer and strength to the feather. I am using DecoArt Ultra Fine Glimmer Dust in the iridescent. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on here. Okay, that's done. I'm going to let that dry. You don't have to do this step, you can just leave them as is, but like I said, they're pretty delicate, so if you can find something to help hold them on or just be very, very gentle. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I know it's an oldie, but I just love bringing old ideas to life, and just, reinventing it a little bit, or, just honoring those old crafts that we all used to do. So I want to thank you all for being here today, and I hope this has kind of put your creative thinking caps on, and I just truly thank you all for being here today. All right, take care. Bye.